My name is Brandon from Vegas. Welcome back to Won't You Be My Neighbor, the real estate podcast. As always, I'm joined by our hosts, Bill Gaylord and Alexandra. Don't call her Alex.
You guys, well, we messed up.
Oh,
and
we
you
messed
guys
up
got
this
it
time.
right.
Yeah, I know.
Today, we are discussing 2025 predictions and what is going to be happening to home buyers right now and in the next year. And to make our predictions more accurate, we're official.
Wow, that looks awesome. I love it.
Call me now, child. Alexandra, what is your prediction for 2024 and 2025?
Mine's going to get political here. We talked about this a little bit, and it's less of a prediction. It's more of it just depends on which way the election goes. We were talking about it a little bit off air. We were talking about California, Illinois, New York being, the most expensive states, the most expensive places to live. If we go Democratic, then I predict that interest rates are going to stay high. I think we might have a little drop before the election, but I think that in 2025 they're going to stay high. Probably Janet Yellen will still be in charge over there, and I think they're going to keep them high. If we go Republican, I think that they're going to drop. I don't know how much. You would know a little bit more about that, but I think they're going to be a little bit lower. I think they're going to have a little more of an incentive to get people into homes.
Yeah, I believe change always brings people to want to go out and have a sense of hope and belief before it inevitably gets stepped out or stepped on 4 years later.
Right. I mean, everyone's leading with the hope, the change. I can't wait for the next 4 years. Let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I just think that we can't really predict it until we know what happens on November 5th. So when we wake up November 6th, I could make a better prediction.
Sure, but I think it's
I need that to be on November 6th right there.
I think it's a pretty safe prediction based on simply the most expensive places to live in America right now are led in Democratic states, California, New York, Illinois, or the places that they've moved to, Austin, Texas, Miami, right? I think it's pretty safe to say that if the housing is expensive now, if getting a home, if buying a home is expensive now, it's not going to change if things stay the same.
Right.
I think that's a pretty safe prediction.
I guess that's what I'm saying. It's not going to change. We're going to be in the same position we are if we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody who feels like
you're going to miss out on buying a home.
Everybody in California who feels like it's too late for them to buy, who feels that regret, that loss, nothing's going to change for them. They're going to feel like they're in the same exact place, right?
Yep.
Bill,
Unless they move.
Unless
they move here. They call Cleo.
Right? Bill, in 2025, what is your prediction for the housing market?
So my prediction is that the 30-year interest rate will go down to 4.75%. It's going to make the homes way more affordable for home buyers to get in, and the values will go up, but the interest rates may give them hope to do that.
This is where I think I agree with your prediction. I do believe interest rates are going to keep going down. Because what are we at right now for FHA?
FHA is under 6%.
Under 6% for FHA.
I just locked a VA loan at 5.5%.
That's crazy. VA loans at 5.5% is a good indicator. We want our veterans in homes, right?
Yep.
I don't think if the market goes to 4 point. Last year we did a prediction where I said the interest rates are going to drop, and because of that, housing prices are going to soar up like nothing you've ever seen before. So I don't think they're going to be as affordable for people as they think. People think that the interest rate's going to save them, but let's say
I think they'll be affordable, but I think values are going to be higher, so they're technically going to be paying more for the house, but the monthly payment that compared to what has happened over the last couple of years, it's higher. It'll be lower for them, but they're going to be paying more for the house.
This is where we want to remind people. A $400,000 house at 7% interest rate currently has a mortgage of around $3,000. That same exact house, if the interest rates drop to 5% or 4.5%, will cost $500,000, and your mortgage will come out to about $3,126. Just so you guys are aware, the interest rates going down is a beneficial thing, but only if you jump on before the housing prices skyrocket.
before.
Yes.
And that's the key. And I think that the other thing that's going to help affordability is that adjustable rate mortgages are coming in to play, and those are even lower than the 30-year fix. And I haven't done an adjustable rate mortgage in years just because the market has been so weird. But I think we're going to see it flip back to where adjustable rate mortgages will be a half or more lower, 0.5% more or lower than the 30-year fix, and it could bring in more inventory into the marketplace.
Okay.
Do you think the consumer is going to be a little scared of an ARM?
Everyone's always scared of the ARM, but they're not scary
Yeah.
because typically the ARMs that I would look at,
Adjustable rate mortgages.
adjustable rate mortgages, would generally, the best ones are 7 or 10 years.
Sure.
And that's a long time. If you look back 7 to 10 years in your life, what were you doing 7 to 10 years ago?
Yeah. Would you
A
rather
lot changes.
Would you rather be scared of an ARM or have that regret of losing out on a home, right? Which we always talk about this being caught between two fears. It's the fear of loss and regret of missing out like you did in 2020, like you did in 2021, like you did in 2008, 2009, 2010, or the fear of, oh, what if my ARM doesn't work out the way it works, right?
Yeah.
It's being caught between two fears.
And I've been in this business for over 30 years. I have never had a fixed rate mortgage.
Yeah.
I've
You
got
personally?
7-year ARMs. I've had 5-year ARMs, 10-year ARMs. I'm currently in a 10-year ARM right now. And it's just the interest rates are lower.
You have to know how to manage it, though.
You have to know, you got to understand, get educated, understand it, but you're going to save at least typically minimum 0.25% and upwards of 0.75% in interest rate.
Yeah.
And that's
Low.
a lot of money. It's a lot of
It's
cash.
a lot of money. And so 7 years of that, right, you're making bank. And if it does go up a little bit after the 7 years, it's the ARM rate, the adjustable rate mortgage, is going to be really good for 9 years
Okay. So
for 7-1 ARM.
the big prediction is interest rates at 4.75 based on what we're seeing right now with interest rates already dropping, and then adjustable rate mortgages even lower than that.
Correct.
Okay. I agree with both of you.
I want to hear what yours is.
Yeah,
I
I've,
agree with
I've
both.
been.
Because
I want to. I want to hear what Cleo says.
You've been seeing the market. You've been selling a lot of homes.
Call me
What's
now.
going to happen?
Call me now, child. Call me now. People who were born in the 2000s have no clue what
They
I'm
have no
doing right
idea.
now. They have no clue. My prediction is that by the end of 2025, millions, and I'm talking about tens of millions of millennials, will be renters until they die. We are a generation. Gen Z is going to have boomer money that is upwards of $90 trillion being left for them in trust funds, inheritances, assets, things like that. There's no one coming to save millennials. And by the time 2025 is over, as rates go down into the 5s and 4s, housing prices are going to become so expensive that the idea of home ownership for millennials is going to be gone. Between Vrbo, Airbnb, foreign internationals buying homes, people from Japan, China, people don't know this. People from China can come here and buy a house as long as they pay a 15% FERPTA tax to the U.S. government. So it's not just buyers here in America. It's not just wholesalers. It's not just flippers. It's not just Vrbo. It's not just Airbnb. It's not just hedge funds. It's not just BlackRock. Wealthy people from around the world are buying homes in America, and nobody's doing anything to stop it. So by the end of 2025, as interest rates drop, so many houses are going to be permanent rentals that millennials won't know home ownerships. You're going to have kids born into peasantry. Their kids will be born into peasantry. It's going to be like some third world countries, like some places in India where you're homeless for generations. It's going to be that, but for renters.
Yeah.
It's going to feel like the 1600s where you're born a peasant, you'll die a peasant, your family will know nothing more than peasantry. And it sucks to say, but all the numbers say that that's where we're headed. If these prices keep going up and we're certainly not going to raise wages to match it, I don't see any other option.
Yeah, and to kind of compound on that is the builder community. They can't build enough homes. The population continues to grow,
Yeah.
and they're just not going to be able to build enough homes. There's a lot of regulations, the cost of building.
Well-
There's a lot of stuff going on there. So that's how you replace supply. is by building homes.
How can we keep up with? There's just real estate education is stuck in the 60s, right? A lot of people are stuck with real estate education that they learned from your generation, right? When we didn't have 2 to 3 million immigrants coming to this country every year by whatever means possible. When we didn't have foreign internationals able to buy homes as much as they want, as long as they pay a fee. Your generation didn't have Airbnb, Verbo. You didn't have housing flipper. There's people's jobs. Their job is to flip houses for profit. There's wholesalers. Hedge funds are buying homes. These are things that we didn't have to deal with in the past. And no one is educating millennials that this is happening right now. The buying houses in America has become one of the most profitable businesses out there because they want to own the land. And a lot of millennials are still like, oh, there's a housing bubble. No, there's a land bubble. Everyone wants their slice of land in America. That's why the cost of housing is going up. It has nothing to do with the house. Everybody wants their little piece of America. It's all for sale. And no one's being educated on this. And so when I tell you guys, you're going to die a renter, you're going to die a peasant, this isn't because I think we're going to run out of wood for houses. It's because we're running out of land that people want to live. And that's just a fact.
Yeah, you drive through Las Vegas, you see a lot of sticks going up, you see a lot of building, but they're all apartment complexes.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of single family or condos or townhomes. It's all apartment complexes for renters.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're even building entire rent-to-own communities. Over in the Southwest, there's entire housing developments that are not for sale. They're building houses for you to rent, which means here goes 80 houses that you're going to lose out on. Here's 80 houses you'll never have a chance to buy. Here's 80 homes that are not for you.
and they're doing a great job of marketing it, making it cool. It's like a live work, and we got this park, and we got this cool coffee shop, and you can walk to do this. Like it's looking really cool. So it's making it seem like this is what you want to do. You want to rent.
Yeah.
That, like, back to what you're saying, the education. Oh, okay, no, you don't want to own a home. You want to rent because you're going to be in this cool neighborhood.
Yep.
And I can see if you don't have children yet, or if you're single, where you're like, well, yeah, why would I want to own a home? Why would I want that responsibility? Or why would I want, I don't know. I don't need it. Like you said, the bubble's going to burst. There's a bubble, or the interest rates. And I just think that there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? But a lot of false hope and thinking like, oh, when the interest rates come down, I'll buy. No. If you want to, like you said, if you want to buy,
Yep.
you need to get out of the peasantry. Buy.
If you don't take home buying seriously now,
Yeah.
your family is going to pay for it for generations.
Right.
You may not take it seriously, but you're dooming your kids and your grandkids to a life of peasantry. And they're going to take that pretty seriously. And they're going to wonder why mom and dad didn't think it was important. Hey, why do all my friends in school have houses, but we're still peasants? We're still renters. Why? Why did you guys not think that it was important, right? Your grandkids are going to wonder, why does grandma still stay in an apartment? Why isn't she staying in a house like all the other grandmas? Oh, because she would rather take trips to Miami than try to actually get a home, right? That's what's coming. So those are our predictions for 2025. The next thing we want to inform home buyers about is all the changes with the NAR rulings, with commission changes. You guys have heard a lot of things online. Hold on. Let me take my Miss Cleo off. Hold on.
And I want to
like
specify it's National Association of Realtors is what
Yeah.
that stands for.
National Association of Realtors.
In case
So-
people are wondering.
I think that should be a regular thing on here.
I like that. I like that,
Predictions,
right? I like
yes.
that.
I like
Hey,
it.
in the comments, let us know. Do you guys like the predictions? Do you like the crystal ball? I want to make that a daily part of the episode.
Yeah.
Let me know what you guys think in the commentary below. Well, I thought that was hilarious. I really
Send us your
enjoyed that, guys.
predictions, too.
Yeah. Same with on TikTok. With our live TikTok classes, if you guys want to join in, hop up in on YouTube Live. We start at 10 a.m. Hop up on TikTok Live. We start at 10 a.m. if you guys want to be a part of the conversation. So, new NAR rulings. Everyone was freaking out, right? Not me.
So NAR.
National Association of
Association of
Realtors.
Realtors.
There was a big ruling, if you missed it out. It talked about who pays commission. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but the seller has always paid the buyer's commission. This was not a secret. You would discuss this beforehand with your seller. Hey, we're going to do a 6% on this one, 3% towards me, 3% towards the other agent. The seller's always paid the buyer's commission. huge lawsuit. Now it makes a state what commission is being paid, right? Everyone was freaking out. Everyone was telling buyers, oh, things are going to change. You're going to have to pay your own buyer's agent. Wrong. I told you live on multiple channels here on TikTok, that's stupid. Buyers are never going to pay their own agent. They can barely afford the down payments for houses. They can barely afford to get in houses. Where are they going to come up with 2 to 3% to pay their own agent? Where? I said on this channel, if a seller gets greedy and tries to deny the buyer's agent co-op, their house would not sell. Okay? Guess what happened? Every seller who rushed out to pay a 0% co-op, their house is sitting on the market still 20, 30, 40, 50 days. I have done 5 deals since the new rulings come in, and it's very simple. Hi, Brandon. I would like to put an offer on your house. We've written a contract, and it comes with a 3% buyer's co-op. Is your seller willing to pay that? I counter back. My seller's willing to pay 2% for your buyer's co-op. Does that work for you? Yeah, let's get the deal done. Because what happens is you put the buyer's agent in a position of, are you going to be greedy enough to turn down a deal because you want your extra 0.5%? You put the ball back in the buyer's agent court. You say, hey, your clients can get a good deal, but if you want that extra 1%, you better lower the list price. Oh, now as a buyer's agent, you have to decide, am I going to be the person who supports my client or the person who supports myself? And we have negotiations back.
Fiduciary responsibility.
Is it fair to say that buyer commissions are going down a little bit?
If you're not a good negotiator and you're not bringing value to your clients. So for instance, I'm Brandon from Vegas, right? All of my contracts say 3% co-op that we have the buyer sign. And I will get the seller to try to get as much of that paid as possible. Now, I believe that I provide more value than the average realtor. I think I'm a better negotiator, and I think I'm better at marketing my properties than your average buyer and listing agent. So I will talk to my clients beforehand. Hey, if the seller's only willing to pay 2.5, are you comfortable paying the other 0.5 for my services? I let them decide if I'm worth it. And so far, I haven't had a single buyer balk at that, right? Because I'm bringing value to the table. But the days where agents who no longer put in the work, the time, the research, the diligence to provide better marketing and better negotiations, the days of them just getting 2.5 to 3% just for showing up are gone. Bad agents, lazy agents can't survive this new market. But it's great for home buyers.
I think that's going to be great because it's going to weed out the people that are talented. I know that happened in the mortgage industry with getting your NMLS and getting licensed, and in the barrier of entry, you talk about that all the time. The barrier of entry has made it much more difficult to get in. And so I think that's going to be great for your competition.
Yes.
As a real estate agent.
It's also going to bring more values to high quality lenders like Bill, right? So Bill is someone who can close a deal in 17, 18, 19, 20 days. I'm willing to take a worse co-op or a lesser deal on my end if I work with a lender who can promise me that we close this thing fast, right? The days where lenders stretch a contract out for 30 to 35 days, why am I going to take less money, and why is my client going to pay more money if we have to sit here and wait 30 to 35 days to get a deal done, right? I really think that this rule change scared a lot of people. People were sitting around saying, I'm going to wait to get a house to see how things shake out. No, take advantage of this new rule change. Buyers, I'm telling you, take advantage of this new rule change. These sellers are going to pay your buyer's commission. Everything's chaotic right now, but you are getting great deals because no one knows how to negotiate. We've had 20, 30, 40 years of everybody just being told, this is a 3% commission. This is a 2.5% commission. You never had to negotiate the deal. If you are a buyer, find you an agent who has negotiation skills, and you can go in there and crush the market. Crush the market.
The good agents know how to put a deal together.
Yes.
They know how to make it happen. There's a lot of nuances. I've worked with thousands of realtors. There's a lot of nuances to every contract.
Yes.
And you have to have great representation.
100%.
And so sometimes a property comes on the market, it's a great property, and you may not need to do as much.
Yeah.
But there are not that many like that. There's a lot that need help with a realtor to get it done,
100%.
to make it work.
Here's one of the tricks that I've been employing. And if you're a realtor or a buyer, here's a trick that you guys can do as well. Okay. You tell the listing agent, this is a 3% co-op. That's what I've written to my buyer. But if you are willing to drop it to 2% as a listing agent, I'll drop it to 2% if you take $10,000 off the list price. Or if you give my buyer $10,000 to $12,000 in closing costs, I'll drop my co-op to 2%. Then you go to your buyer and you go, hey, look, I just made you $12,000. Are you comfortable paying the last 0.5 or 1% of my commission? I just made you $12,000, right? Let's give it back. That's an easy way for everybody to win, but this takes negotiation skills. It's going to take a while for big companies like Keller Williams and Berkshire to train their listing agents and buyer's agents of how to have these discussions. I've been having these discussions my whole life. I'm not cute. If you're watching this audibly, I'm not cute, okay? I've had to negotiate dates for like 20 years, all right? So I have prime time negotiation skills,
Master negotiator.
Look at me. Do you think I got this far by being handsome? No, okay? You got to learn to negotiate. So right now, I feel like I'm killing it. I feel like every offer I'm getting, be it listing or buying, we're killing the market.
And I think too, right now, people getting in, if they don't get in, if they wait, they'll regret not getting in.
100%.
And the reason is that there's still sellers out there that are trying to sell their house, and they're right now they're having to wait. They can't sell it.
Yes.
There's some listing agents that are a little bit nervous that those homes haven't sold. So
Yes.
this is an opportunity for people to go in right now, and the rates have already dropped like 0.75%. So this is a good time where the sellers are willing to negotiate right now in this new environment, and you get a lower interest rate.
Let's drop a TikTok clippable right here. Let's drop a TikTok clippable right here. Here is a pro tip for anybody looking to buy in Las Vegas. You are going to look for three things. You are going to look for a house in the Northwest, Summerlin, or Green Valley that has been on the market 60 plus days. You are going to offer that seller a deal that pays 2% co-op, but a closing cost that's enough for you to buy down your rate 1%. So you're going to go for $10,000 to $15,000. That seller who's been sitting on the market needs to sell that house. They've paid the mortgage twice. You can take advantage of the market if you just target those two things. Summerlin, Northwest, Green Valley, on the market 60 plus days. You're welcome. I got you guys.
That's a good hack.
That's a good hack.
That's good.
That's a good hack. So I feel like, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, I just think I wanna kind of summarize what you're saying is you need to jump now before everyone else figures it out.
Yes.
You need to be the first one to the dance.
Yes.
To ask the girl to dance, right?
Yes.
To get the free drink. Show up. It's not figured out right now. People are scurrying. They're not quite sure. You need to show up and figure out and take advantage of it.
I feel like you're just throwing my favorite topic my way. I feel like you're
The
doing
nightclub?
it. Yes.
I know I was.
Right now, you are in a nightclub.
Yep.
It's
I love
ladies'
it.
night. Okay. The rules have changed in the nightclub, right? The rules have changed. You're used to having to beg girls to buy them a drink. Oh, but it's ladies' night. They're a bit more friendly. They're already getting free drinks. They don't need you to buy them, right? You're the first guy in the club. Instead of sitting around waiting for other rich dudes to get into the club, you walk right up to the first pretty girl you see and you just start shooting your shot. She doesn't know if more attractive guys than you are going to hit the club. She doesn't know, right? She can't take that risk. You might be the most attractive dude who talks to her that night, right? She's got to at least give you a chance. That's where we're sitting at right now. A year from now, Keller Williams is going to have
Yep.
trained its agents on how to negotiate these deals. They're going to have seminars. They're going to have Zoom meetings. A year from now, everything is going to be stock standard, right?
Yeah.
They're going to know what they're doing.
And I personally believe that a lot of buyers right now have pushed the pause button
Yes.
because they don't know what's going to happen with the election.
Yes.
Is the economy going to go gangbusters afterwards, or is it going to fall apart?
Yes.
And I think people are scared and they're fearful. And unfortunately, this is a really good time to really make those decisions.
Yes.
You know, it's a calculated risk.
100%.
How long have you been in your job? Do you have a steady income? Can you make the payment? There's a lot of things that they can do right now, but they're fearful right now.
And that's where we're going to finish today.
Okay.
In the words of Lord Peter Baelish, Littlefinger, as you guys may call him, chaos is a ladder. It's a ladder for you to climb. And right now, we are in real estate chaos, right? There's two kinds of people right now. Those sitting at the bottom of the ladder waiting. A majority of people all have the same idea. Let me see how this election shakes out, then I'll make a decision. Okay, you're the same people in 2020 who said, let me see how COVID shakes out, then go to make a decision. What happened? You went to make a decision and houses were going $100,000 over their list price. If you sit around and wait for everybody to climb the ladder and tell you it's safe at the top, you're never going to get to the top of the ladder. There's always going to be too many people above you. If your idea is to wait for the election to be over, everybody's idea is that, which means the second the election's over, everybody's going to run out to do the same exact thing. And if Vegas has taught you anything, you don't make money betting with the public. You make money betting against them. Don't wait.
Well, and you've educated them. I mean, they should understand this. This is a good opportunity.
It is. You will, if you do not try to climb the ladder right now, you will regret it. If you do not take advantage of the ladder right now, you will regret it. I went out and bought a house that was way too expensive, way out of my budget, simply because times are so chaotic and new builders are just so scared that they're giving these things away with incentives you're never going to get again. Take advantage of it. Climb the ladder when you can. Your $600,000 house now could be worth $750,000 next year or the year after. Take advantage of these kind of things.
The other thing that I want to say about that too is that I always say, if you're going to stretch, this is a good time, because more than likely you're going to be in that home for 5 to 7 years minimum. And is that house going to be the one that you want? So if you're skimping now, it may not be what you want
100%.
5, 7 years down the road.
100%.
Stretch a little bit now, because this is a good time to stretch.
Stretch now and save rather than trying to do the opposite, right? Final thoughts?
Oh, you got me off guard here. I was in it. I was in it. I just, hey, if you want to buy a house, you just got to go make it happen. You just don't be scared. It's do the uncomfortable thing, get out, don't die a peasant, and do it for your future.
Bill?
Find out where you are right now and what you need to do to get to where you want to be. So get a game plan together, understand your credit, income, assets, and what you need to do to get into it, and build that plan and get into a home.
You're going to die a peasant and no one's coming to save you. No one's coming to help you at all. You have to help yourself. But if you are willing to help yourself, if you're willing to be uncomfortable, if you're willing to look through your finances, Bill and I will help you, and we'll help you for free. Bill will get you pre-approved. I'll negotiate you a great deal, and we will get you in a home. It may not be the Flipzilla home, but we will get you in a home. You don't have to die a renter. You just have to give a shit. So thank you guys for your time. I'm Brandon from Vegas. You guys can catch us anywhere. Bill, how do they find you?
BillGaylord.com. Right there. 858-776-6830.
Alexandra, how do they find you?
Alexandra Harbushka. Go there on Instagram or alexandraharbushka.com.
And I'm Brandon from Vegas. Just put me in your search bar. I'll pop up. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. Leave us a comment below. And as always, peace, peace, peace. Come and be my neighbor.